I was so hurt, so angry that I took a knife and I swung it so hard I cut myself. I just want to be more benevolent, and I'm not. I'm kind of I don't want to say asshole, but I'm like...
Sister Wives, Kody's shocking swung the knife confession. Kody Brown just made a confession, so shocking that even Robyn couldn't hide her horror. In a moment of raw honesty, Kody admitted, "I swung the knife in anger." Those 7 words reveal a side of Kody we've never seen before, a man consumed by rage, admitting to destructive behavior that left his family in ruins. What did he mean by swinging the knife? Who was he targeting? And why is Robyn absolutely stunned by this admission? Stay until the very end, because this changes everything. Welcome back, Sister Wives fanatics. If you thought you'd heard everything about the Brown family drama, think again. Today we're unpacking one of the most disturbing and revealing confessions Kody Brown has ever made. And trust me, the implications are absolutely staggering. Before we dive into this bombshell revelation, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you never miss a moment of Sister Wives chaos. This confession is just the tip of the iceberg, and you'll want to be here for every update as this story continues to unfold. And I need you to drop a comment below. Do you think Kody's admission proves he's been the villain all along? Or is this him finally being honest about his mistakes? Let's get into this jaw-dropping confession. The knife metaphor explained, so let's break down exactly what Kody meant when he said, "I swung the knife in anger." Because this isn't just some throwaway line. This is a deeply revealing metaphor that exposes Kody's mindset and his role in destroying his family. When Kody admitted to swinging the knife, he was using a violent metaphor to describe how he deliberately attacked his relationships with Christine, Janelle, and Meri. He wasn't talking about physical violence. He was talking about emotional and psychological destruction. He was admitting that in his anger, he actively worked to sever those relationships, to cut them down, to inflict damage. Think about the deliberateness of that image. You don't accidentally swing a knife. You don't passively hold it. You swing it. That implies force, intention, aggression. Kody is admitting that he didn't just let those marriages fade away naturally. He actively destroyed them in moments of rage. This confession came during a particularly raw conversation with Robyn, where she was apparently pressing him about how things deteriorated so quickly with his other wives. And instead of deflecting or making excuses, Kody dropped this bombshell metaphor that left even Robyn, his most loyal defender, absolutely speechless. The knife metaphor is significant because it shows Kody knows he was the aggressor. He wasn't the victim of his wives leaving. He wasn't the innocent party watching helplessly as his family fell apart. He was the one wielding the weapon. He was the one choosing to destroy rather than repair. Robyn's stunned reaction. Now let's talk about Robyn's reaction, because this is where things get really interesting. Robyn has spent years defending Kody, making excuses for his behavior, blaming the other wives for not trying hard enough, insisting that Kody wanted to make all his marriages work. But when Kody admitted, "I swung the knife in anger," even Robyn couldn't maintain that narrative anymore. Sources describe her as absolutely stunned, sitting in shocked silence as the weight of Kody's words sank in. Why was this so shocking to Robyn? Because it completely contradicts everything Kody had been telling her. He'd been painting himself as the heartbroken husband whose wives were abandoning him. He positioned himself as the one desperately trying to hold the family together while everyone else gave up. But this confession reveals the truth. Kody was the one doing the abandoning. He was the one actively destroying those relationships. He wasn't a victim. He was the perpetrator. Robyn's stunned reaction suggests that maybe, just maybe, she's starting to see Kody for who he really is. Maybe she's realizing that the man she's been defending is actually the man who deliberately destroyed 3 marriages and hurt countless children in the process. Or maybe she's stunned because she realizes this admission makes her complicit. If Kody was swinging the knife in anger at his other wives, what does that say about Robyn's role? Was she encouraging it? Was she benefiting from it? Was she standing by while Kody deliberately hurt the women she called her sister wives? What Kody was really admitting. Let's dig deeper into what Kody was actually confessing when he used this knife metaphor, because the implications go far beyond just admitting he was angry. First, he's admitting to intentional destruction. This wasn't about growing apart naturally or having irreconcilable differences. This was about Kody making deliberate choices to hurt and damage his relationships. Every cruel word, every dismissive action, every moment of neglect, those were choices, not accidents. Second, he's admitting to acting out of anger rather than love or principle. Kody has always claimed his decisions were about protecting the family, following his faith, maintaining boundaries. But this confession reveals the truth. He was acting out of rage. His anger was driving his behavior, not his values. Third, he's admitting that he was the aggressor, not the victim. For years, Kody has positioned himself as the wronged party, the abandoned husband, the man whose wives gave up on him. But swinging the knife is not victim language, it's perpetrator language. He's admitting he was on the offensive, attacking his relationships rather than defending them. Fourth, he's revealing a disturbing level of self-awareness. Kody knows what he did. He's not confused about how things fell apart. He's not bewildered by the collapse of his family. He knows exactly what role he played because he was the one wielding the weapon. This level of self-awareness actually makes his behavior more disturbing, not less. Because it means he wasn't just reacting emotionally in the moment, he was conscious of the destruction he was causing and did it anyway. The specific knife-swinging moments. Now let's connect Kody's confession to specific moments in Sister Wives history. Because once you hear this metaphor, you can identify exactly when Kody was swinging the knife at each of his wives. With Christine, the knife swinging was brutal and public. Remember when he told her she disgusted him during their anniversary? That was a knife swing. When he mocked her for wanting to move back to Utah. Knife swing. When he showed zero interest in reconciling, even as she begged for couples therapy. Knife swing. When he blamed her for the family falling apart while taking zero responsibility himself. Knife swing. Kody wasn't just growing distant from Christine. He was actively pushing her away with calculated cruelty. Every dismissive comment, every eye roll, every moment where he made her feel small and unimportant, those were knife swings. He was deliberately cutting her down until she had no choice but to leave. With Janelle, the knife swinging was more passive-aggressive but equally destructive. He withdrew emotionally, stopped visiting her, blamed her for not following his COVID rules while making those rules impossible to follow. When she tried to discuss their problems, he shut her down. When she asked for his time, he claimed he had none to give, while spending every day at Robyn's house. The knife Kody swung at Janelle was the knife of neglect and dismissal. He was systematically cutting her out of his life while making it look like it was her choice, her fault, her failure. And with Meri, the knife swinging has been going on for years. He refused to work on their marriage after the catfishing scandal. He legally divorced her to marry Robyn, but kept her hanging on emotionally. He gave her just enough hope to keep her around while repeatedly telling her their relationship was over. That's not just knife swinging, that's torture. Why Kody is confessing now? So the million-dollar question is, why is Kody making this admission now? Why is he suddenly willing to use such violent, damning metaphors to describe his own behavior? There are several possibilities, and none of them paint Kody in a good light. Possibility 1. The truth is becoming undeniable with Christine thriving in her new marriage, Janelle clearly done with him, and even his older children publicly calling out his behavior. Kody can no longer maintain the victim narrative. The evidence against him is overwhelming, and maybe he's realized that continuing to deny reality just makes him look delusional. Possibility 2. He's trying to control the narrative by admitting to swinging the knife. Kody gets to frame his own confession. He can position himself as someone who's brutally honest about his mistakes rather than someone who got caught. It's a strategic move to maintain some sense of control over how his story is told. Possibility 3. He's emotionally exhausted. Maintaining lies and deflections is exhausting. Maybe Kody has simply reached a breaking point where pretending is too much work, and the truth, as ugly as it is actually easier to live with than the constant performance of being the good guy. Possibility 4. Robyn demanded honesty. Perhaps Robyn has been questioning the official narrative, sensing that things don't add up. Maybe she pressed Kody for the real truth about what happened, And in a moment of vulnerability or frustration, he finally admitted what he'd done. Possibility 5. He genuinely feels guilty. It's possible, though perhaps unlikely given Kody's pattern of behavior, that he's actually experiencing genuine guilt and remorse for the destruction he's caused. Maybe seeing his adult children cut him off, watching Christine find happiness, and recognizing the pain he's inflicted has finally broken through his defenses. Whatever the reason, this confession represents a significant shift in how Kody talks about the breakdown of his family. The impact on the other wives when Christine, Janelle, and Meri eventually hear about Kody's swinging the knife confession, the impact is going to be seismic. Let's break down what this means for each of them. Christine is going to feel an overwhelming mix of validation and rage. For years, she blamed herself for not being enough, for not trying hard enough, for failing at plural marriage. But Kody's confession proves what she suspected all along. He was the one who destroyed their marriage. He was the one swinging the knife. This confession will confirm that leaving Kody was the right decision. It will validate every hurt feeling, every moment she felt attacked, every time she sensed deliberate cruelty from him. Christine didn't fail. Kody deliberately pushed her out. And now he's admitting it. Janelle is going to recognize every single knife swing that Kody aimed at her relationship. Every missed visit, every dismissive comment, every moment of neglect, those were deliberate choices, not unfortunate circumstances. Kody wasn't busy or stressed or trying his best. He was actively cutting her out of his life. This confession might be exactly what Janelle needs to finally, completely walk away without guilt. She's been hesitant, still processing, not quite ready to officially end things. But hearing Kody admit he was swinging the knife in anger, that might be the final push she needs. Meri has the most complicated reaction ahead of her. She's been hanging on for years, hoping for reconciliation, believing that if she just waited long enough or tried hard enough, Kody would come back to her. But this confession reveals that Kody was actively working against reconciliation. He was swinging the knife at their relationship, deliberately keeping it dead. For Meri, this might finally be the closure she needs. You can't repair something when the other person is actively destroying it. And now Kody has admitted that's exactly what he's been doing. The metaphor's deeper meaning. Let's talk about why the knife metaphor specifically is so revealing and disturbing. Kody could have used countless other metaphors to describe ending his marriages. He could have said, I walked away, or I gave up, or I let things fall apart. But he specifically chose, I swung the knife. A knife is a weapon designed to cut, to separate, to wound. When you swing a knife, you're not being passive. You're being violent, aggressive, intentional. The motion of swinging implies force and momentum. You're putting your full strength behind the action. This metaphor reveals that Kody sees himself as having attacked his relationships, not defended them, not tried to save them, not even just failed at maintaining them, attacked them. He was on the offensive, using anger as his weapon, deliberately inflicting wounds. The phrase in anger is equally significant. Anger is an emotion that overrides rational thought, that strips away compassion and empathy, that allows people to do things they might not otherwise do. By specifying that he swung the knife, in anger, Kody is admitting that he let his rage control his actions rather than his love, his values, or his commitment to his family. This is a man admitting to being ruled by destructive emotions rather than constructive principles. And that's terrifying when you consider how many people, wives, and children were on the receiving end of those knife swings. Comparing Kody's public image versus private confession, the gap between Kody's public persona and this private confession to Robyn is absolutely staggering. Let's compare what Kody has been saying publicly versus what he's now admitting privately. Public Kody: my wives gave up on me and our family. Private confession: I swung the knife in anger, admitting he was the aggressor who destroyed the relationships. Public Kody: I tried everything to make my marriages work. Private confession: swinging the knife implies deliberate destruction, not attempts at reconciliation. Public Kody: I'm heartbroken that my family fell apart. Private confession: you can't be heartbroken about something you deliberately destroyed. Public Kody: Christine, Janelle, and Meri didn't respect me as the patriarch. Private confession. Respect doesn't matter when you're swinging the knife at people. Public Kody. I was just trying to protect my family during COVID. Private confession. Protection doesn't involve knife swinging. The disconnect is absolutely massive. Kody has been performing for the cameras and the public, maintaining a carefully constructed image of himself as the wronged patriarch whose family abandoned him. But in private, he's admitting to violent, angry, destructive behavior. This is exactly what people who've been paying attention have been saying all along. Kody is a master manipulator who presents one face to the world while behaving completely differently behind closed doors. This confession proves it. What this means for Robyn's future. Robyn's stunned reaction to Kody's confession might be the beginning of a major shift in their relationship, and here's why this matters so much. For years, Robyn has been the faithful wife, the defender of Kody's honor, the woman who stood by him even when everyone else was criticizing him. She's positioned herself as the loyal one, the one who truly understands him, the one who never gave up. But this confession puts Robyn in an impossible position. If she continues to defend Kody, she's defending a man who admits to swinging the knife in anger at his other wives. She's defending deliberate destruction, rage-fueled attacks, intentional harm. How can she maintain the moral high ground while defending that? On the other hand, if she starts questioning Kody's behavior, she risks becoming his next target. We've seen glimpses of Kody's anger directed at Robyn in recent episodes, moments where she doesn't agree with him quickly enough, where she questions his decisions, where she advocates for the other wives. If Kody swung the knife at 3 wives already, what's to stop him from swinging it at the 4th? Robyn is trapped in a relationship with a man who has now admitted to deliberately destroying relationships when he gets angry. That has to be terrifying on some level, because if he did it to them, he could do it to her. This confession might be the wake-up call that finally forces Robyn to see Kody clearly, not as the misunderstood patriarch she's been defending, but as the angry, destructive man he's admitted to being. So there you have it, Sister Wives fans, Kody Brown's shocking confession that left even Robyn stunned. I swung the knife in anger. 7 words that expose years of deliberate destruction, rage-fueled attacks, and intentional harm inflicted on 3 women who devoted their lives to him and their family. This isn't just reality TV drama anymore. This is a man admitting to being the villain in his own story, finally confessing to the destructive behavior we've been witnessing for years. Christine, Janelle, and Meri didn't fail at plural marriage. Kody destroyed it with deliberate knife swings aimed at each of them. Now I want to hear your take on this shocking confession. Do you think Kody's admission changes anything? Or is it too little too late? Will Robyn stay with a man who admits to destroying relationships in anger? And most importantly, do you think Christine, Janelle, and Meri will feel validated or just more hurt when they hear about this confession? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. This is the kind of revelation that demands discussion, and I want to hear every perspective, every theory, every reaction you've got. If this deep dive into Kody's confession resonated with you, smash that like button. It helps the YouTube algorithm share this important conversation with more Sister Wives fans who need to hear about this admission. And if you haven't already, subscribe and hit that notification bell right now. Kody's confession is just the latest bombshell in the Sister Wives saga, and trust me, more revelations are coming. You do not want to miss what happens when the other wives find out about this, when the adult children respond, or when we see how this affects Robyn and Kody's relationship moving forward. Share this video with everyone in your Sister Wives group chats because this confession changes the entire narrative of the Brown family story. Your friends need to know that Kody himself has admitted to deliberately destroying his marriages in anger. Thank you for being part of this community, for engaging with these difficult topics, and for holding people accountable for their actions, even when they're reality TV stars. Your comments, your perspectives, and your support make these conversations meaningful. I'll see you in the next video where we'll be breaking down the fallout from this confession and exploring what happens when the truth finally catches up with someone who's been swinging the knife for years. Until then, stay informed, stay engaged, and remember, sometimes the most powerful validation comes when the person who hurt you finally admits what they did.